So we got our outdoor furniture together here. We're still gonna go, we're gonna go back to IKEA and get the side arms for these. We thought it would be nice open, just having it more open, not closed off with the ends, but I think it'll help with the cushions, keeping the cushions on. I might need to find a way to Velcro these cushions or put some kind of strap on them because they slide off rather easily.
Go inside for a minute while I'm doing this.
But this is the shade cloth. It's a triangle sail type thing. Needs a bit of cleaning, but we're gonna attach one side there, one on the other side, and then the third corner will go up above the door. Today is Saturday, July 18th, and these are the updates in our garden. So, tomatoes, look at those. Lots of tomato growth. Got basil growth. So many tomatoes. I'm so excited to eat them. Tomatoes over there. And that tomato plant over there is now taller than I am. Look, we have our first butternut squash growing there. These are trellising nicely. We've helped them out a bit, but they've done a pretty good job. Oh, look, there's another little one starting. Our tomatoes over here have popped up, and we really need to get furring strips here now to tie them up because they're starting to fall over. Butternut squash over here. I see a little one starting up there. Cherry tomatoes coming along a little slower over here, and this corn. But our earlier corn is doing great, and then all of these cherry tomatoes over here. Let's see, we've got cherry tomatoes there, over there, all the way. Can't see those, they're on the other side. So yeah, cherry tomatoes any day now. Oh, there's some there. Our trellises are getting filled. It's so pretty. Cucumbers. We have our first cucumber growing. Look at that. I haven't seen any more yet, but these are trellising nicely too. And then our broccoli are kind of just taking over everything. I don't remember broccoli doing this last year, but they haven't started any heads yet. And then the leeks still coming along, and carrots. What else? The peas are gone on this side of the trellis. Unfortunately, I have nothing to go up this side now. Maybe once the weather is cooler again, we plant more peas, we'll have something on this side again. Otherwise, I do have a few more radishes that are growing in this space. And then of course all of our salad greens here, looking good. I had harvested almost all of these for a big salad for the 4th, but it's like I never took them. They just grew right back. What else? All of our beet greens. Some of these beets can probably come out of the ground. There's like a really big one right here and there. Just have to figure out what I'm gonna do with them. And then our cauliflower starting heads. I've tried to keep DE on these because as you can see, they're getting eaten and I've pulled a lot of worms off. But it's rained so much lately. I mean, good thing, but it just washes the DE away. Yeah. What do you have?
Lettuce.
Lettuce?
I mean, lettuce.
Lettuce. Yeah.
It's yummy.
You like it? You're just eating it straight from the garden?
Mm-hmm.
Did you make sure there weren't any worms on it?
Yeah. There aren't.
Okay. What else did you pull from the garden and eat?
A basil.
Yeah.
And all of it.
Yeah. The last couple days he's just pulled basil right off the plant and ate it. I'm quite impressed. Yeah. I think that's a chard leaf.
Doesn't look like one. Looks like a yellowish leaf.
Well, yeah. It's a lettuce, but it's called chard.
Watch.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. All right, what else? These Paul Robeson tomatoes growing. Some of them have some little splits in them. Yep. But tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. And then this one was a volunteer tomato
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
that needs to be staked up, but it's I think, what was the story? I planted a bell pepper seed there and a tomato came out, and it is a cherry tomato plant, if you can see the way the stems are growing there. But underneath this, all of our jalapeno peppers. We don't have any jalapenos yet, but we do have a bunch of those yellow peppers over there. And then our pole beans are looking good all the way up to the top. No beans yet, but that's okay. Our bush beans just did not do well. Looks like that one has some blossoms on it, like it's trying. And then this one has a couple itty bitty green beans. What else? These are our lima beans here. And then some acorn squash climbing up. So there are the 2 acorn squash here. Lima beans are up against the cattle panel. So hopefully they'll all have enough space. And then I did stick 2 loofah plants in there too, just because I didn't have space for them. Although now some in the other bed have died and I probably do have space for them, but they're doing better here than the other bed, so I really don't want to move them. So these 2 are yellow squash plants. We actually do have 1 yellow squash growing, but I think it didn't get pollinated correctly. I showed on the other side because it looks like it's dying. But we do have a zucchini right there. These 4 are zucchini plants, and I have seen some bees around here, which is good. Hopefully they're getting in here and pollinating everything. I've tried to look for the female flowers when I can and pollinate them myself, but so far I've seen all male flowers. Let's see, where did that one go? Oh, there it is. So looks like a yellow squash started growing. I don't know, we'll see what happens to it. Our watermelons are starting to vine, which is good. And then we just got our last cattle panel up tonight. And then yellow squash over here. And I think this one might be an acorn squash. There were like 3 yellow and an acorn. coming along. And on this side we have cantaloupe. One has gotten long enough I could reach it to the panel over here. I did have 6 in here, but 2 of them didn't make it, so hopefully now I'll have room for something else, or at least once these start vining, I'll have room to pull them over to the cattle panel. And then loofah plants. Several of these didn't make it, but so I had 9 to start with. This one, yeah, is done. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 left, and then the 2 that are in the other bed next to the squash. So hopefully those do well and we get some loofahs. Other than that, someone's borrowing our weed eater right now. I need to weed eat all of this and get mulch down so that the grass doesn't continue to grow up everywhere. Shade cloth is up now, the sail, whatever you want to call it. That's a pretty picture. So Dan put these poles down in the ground for it, and then we attached it to the house. And I think we're gonna put some kind of pole in between these 2 just to stabilize it, because they're bowing in a bit with the pull of the cloth. And then over here I still have a few calendula growing. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 1 little chamomile that's trying its best. And then these 2 sunflowers. Over here, my hyssop finally started blooming. Pretty little purple flowers. And then our zinnias are blooming too. And then we have this vine that's growing. I'm not sure whether I should pull it or just let it take over. There's another zinnia plant.
Watch me.
Okay.
Keep watching.
Alrighty.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm. And then our calendulas doing well up here. Going a little crazy.
Did anybody say foot?
Foot? Nope. And then it looks like we need to get up here and weed.
You, Mama, look. Look.
You found an ant?
Mm-hmm.
Next steps are to get more furring strips in the ground for the tomatoes that don't have them yet. Next year, I think we're going to try something different. Not so many furring strips standing out of the ground. I don't know what we're going to try. If we're going to do more cattle panels in between each, because then I'd have to plant differently, or pull the tomatoes over to be able to reach, or if we're going to try some kind of string system that goes up to a pole. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for joining the tour. What are we watching here, Daddy?
Ezra TV.
Ezra TV, do the Ezra dance. Ezra TV, do the Ezra dance. Do your best Ezra dance if you have one. And dance you one with me. Mm-mm. The end of the video.